Man, oh man, am I excited. Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Piece Treasure Cruise series. Today we're starting the OPTC challenge, which is very similar to if you've been on the channel for a while. A past series I've done, which is ultra hardcore. This time I'm going for a more basic name, and I have a really good plan as to keep the series up and have it every day uploaded to the YouTube channel. We are going to be doing 1 hour on this account every single day. Of course, on YouTube it will be shortened down to about maybe 20 minutes. We will see. But every episode I do want to have a to-do list, and as you can see, you're being bombarded with a lot of information here on your screen. So on the left side is the rules, and then on the right side we have the to-do list as well as my long-term goals for the series, and then last week's single pool, which I will explain. It's a part of the rule. Trust me, it is going to make us a lot more interesting. So as you can see here, I do actually have a rerolled account here, and I did go for the most legends possible. I do not care about which legends they are. They just need to be legend characters. So as we start off, I'm going to first explain the rules, of course. So the whole premise of the series is that we're not allowed to use pullable characters. That doesn't just mean that characters that we pull for in the tavern. It also means in Power Rumble you get a free legend every month that needs to be sold. You from the tutorial you get a bunch of free-to-play, or not free-to-play characters, but very old pullable units that it can really help you when you're starting a new account. Those characters not allowed either. I am going to sell all of these units. Now you might be cringing at that because selling legends. We're going to be selling the Rocks Pirates, Christmas Uta, Halloween Uta. We're going to be selling all these characters, but this account is never going to be using pullable units. So there's no point in keeping them, having them on the account. We can make much better use of the Rayleigh points for selling them. So I do actually have a plan for on the to-do list. As you can see there, we are going to be buying the Rocketman and the Dreadnought Saber ships, and those each cost 7.5 thousand Rayleigh points. When you sell one Sugo Fest exclusive Sugo Rare character, you get 5,000 Rayleigh points. So from having these three legends at the start here, I can get my hands on two of these ships, 7.5 thousand points each. Besides that, treasure map is about to end in about 5 hours, so we can see if we can maybe just attempt the lowest league treasure map. I'm probably going to get absolutely screwed over, but we can try anyways. But besides that, we also have no beginner Straw Hat Pirates. Now, if you do, if you've played Treasure Cruise before, you know that the free-to-play straw hats you get at the start of the game are incredibly overpowered. They can carry you through most content in the game. So just to make it a bit more interesting, for now at least, for a very long time, we are not going to be using those characters. We also are not going to be using the friend point pools, which are the essentially free-to-play pools that you can do in the game to get story mode characters. I do want to get these characters organically, so I feel like it's a bit of a cheat, and it's going to be way too easy to get these characters if we use the friend point pools. So for now, once again, we are not going to be using that. Much later on, once we've built a decent box and there are characters that we want but aren't available from story mode, then we can start using the friend point pools. And as I said before, we can get legend characters and rare recruits, but we have to sell them for Rayleigh points. So of course, legend tickets, we can use them, but we have to sell the characters immediately so we can get those Rayleigh points. And then we have the single pool of the week. Now let me actually just move this along so we can actually get into the game. So what I'm going to be doing, also sorry about the game lagging, emulators were banned from Treasure Cruise, so you can't use BlueStacks. So I'm using a very old phone here, so it is quite laggy. It can't do rush, which is a very advanced mechanic in the game. Luckily, free-to-play characters, there's not a single free-to-play unit in the game that allows you to do rush, so for that we should be fine. But yes, the single pool of the week. So every week we have OPTC run on Sundays. So after doing OPTC run, which allows us to get a Rainbow Tavern medals, that's another discussion that I will talk about later on. I don't want to yap for too long now. Let me call this account OPTC challenge. This is going to be fun. I'm making this very easy for me to create. So for 1 hour every day, I'm going to be playing the game. It's just straight up recording it on OBS, and then I'm going to upload it straight to YouTube so you guys can get access to the content very frequently. The focus is going to be on making very small progress every single day. So if you are going to be in for the long haul, this is going to be a really fun adventure. But about the single pull weekly, after OPTC run every week, we are going to be doing one single pull, which is one character that we can keep. Also, Luffy's talking a bit, so you can't really hear me. But this character, no matter who it is, I am allowed to keep. In other words, I'm allowed 4 pullable characters every month, which it does sound like it's making it very easy, but the chances realistically of me getting an actual really good character are so low. So every week we're going to add one new character to our box. We're going to be able to use that character to the fullest, and if we do get a legend from that, I will keep the legend. So when it comes to big sugar fests like New Year's, where there's going to be a 3x legend rate, there's going to be a decent chance that from one of those single pulls I'll get a legend. But remember, it could be any legend in the game. So I think this will just make it a lot more interesting, because we'll have one character every week. It's not a whole multi-pull. We're going to do a single pull, and we can see what we get. So as you can see there's Gaimon in the bottom right. Of course, when we do our first single, I'll add that to that box there, so you guys can see the last character I've gotten and how we're going to use him. As for the long-term goals, as you can see there, I want to beat every GARP challenge, which is going to be a massive challenge, because that requires you to have a diverse box of characters. So getting like for instance a whole bunch of good free-to-play dex units for each color is going to make it extremely difficult. But also the second Don Quixote Doflamingo GARP challenge and the second Revolutionary Army GARP challenge are both in-game content that is going to be a massive hurdle for me using free-to-play characters. And remember, I can't use the free-to-play straw hats, so there's a lot of different niche characters that I'm gonna have to be using in the series. But either way, it's gonna be a blast. Probably the hardest thing I want to do though is beat every single Grand Voyage at level 1, because of course it's impossible at the higher levels to beat Grand Voyage with only free-to-play characters, but I do think it is 100% possible to beat them at least level 1 for a free-to-play account. Of course, I will be collecting a massive amount of rainbow gems, since I won't be doing any pulls. The only thing I can really use gems for is revive gems, which I'm going to try to avoid as much as possible, and also for expanding my box space. But beyond that, it's just going to be saving rainbow gems. So I do want to eventually reach 10,000 rainbow gems. Just seeing that would be incredible, as someone who's, I think, gotten only to maybe 1,500 gems in the past. Getting to that massive number would be awesome. Of course, I do want to collect every free-to-play character, because, I mean, it's just going to be awesome to have the ultimate free-to-play box. Hopefully try and get all of them to level 150, or at least all of the like really good free-to-play characters, like all the treasure map units, Kizuna units, Powder Rumble, PKA, all these characters I can get to level 150, because all of my resources will be focused on a very limited amount of units, since there won't be any pullable characters. So the tutorial is about to be finished. Actually, jumping straight into this, I should be able to get the Dreadnought Saber and the Rocket Man ships. There are very specific reasons why I'm going to get those two. Ships are going to be the most important thing for me as the series progresses, because the amount of utility and damage that ships can provide with the modifications is immense. Unfortunately, there is going to be hurdles in trying to get those modifications. We'll need a bunch of cola and berries. Berries are going to be extremely hard and arduous to farm, thanks to us not having access to the best berry farming captains. Now, I am a bit sad that Treasure Map is about to leave very soon. I would like to have a bit more time to try and get some decent characters, so that I can actually challenge the intrusion or the final boss and hopefully win at least one of them. But without the free-to-play straw hats, I don't think it's really possible right now. But that was a long yapping session. Hopefully you kind of digested what I'm going for with the series. I'm very excited to get started on this. And just as that the download finishes, So we are going to get a lot of rainbow gems at the start, aurora gems as well. We're going to save all of those. I mean, I'm not going to be doing pulls, of course, so there's no point in using them. Might as well just stockpile them. Rainbow tavern medals. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do with rainbow tavern medals, because you can't save them. They're going to expire in about a week and a half after you get them. You can only use them for pulling characters. You can't use it for box space or anything like that. So when it comes to rainbow tavern medals, I will use them before they expire, but then I will just sell all the units I get from pulling with the rainbow tavern medals. And any pulls I do, I will do it on camera for you guys and sell it immediately afterwards, just so you guys know that I'm not using them to clear content. So on the to-do list there, I have quite a few things I want to do. Is first off, I want to save accounts with SNS, which is basically just backing up my account, making sure that it won't get deleted from anything. Then I want to buy the ships, which is going to be very quick. I want to finish the PKA tutorial, Pirating Adventures, which is going to be very quick. And I won't show you guys most of that because it is quite boring. I want to attempt a run of Treasure Map. And then I also want to do OPTC run, which is going to come out in about 4 hours. The thing is, I don't want to make the episode too long, so I'll probably actually only do that in tomorrow's episode. So let me just go and start selling these characters I got from the free pool. We will also get a ton of free multis from the start of the game. I believe about 10 of them. So that's going to be a massive amount of rally points. So we're going to be swimming in rally points. It's going to be really cool. So we're going to sell all these units we got from the free pool. It's a bit painful, but it is what it is. I also have to remove Rocks Pirates from my crew. I think that Jumbe and Chopper are also like pullable characters. I mean, I can just check if they sell for 300 rally points, then I know they are pullable units. That's the easiest way to tell. And I'm pretty sure they are. So they're gonna have to leave my box. I'm only left with Luffy. Pray for me, guys. I mean, there's a lot of interesting characters that are going to help us here. Honestly, the hardest part is probably going to be support characters. There's a very limited amount of units that are free to play that are good support units, but they are definitely a good amount. Some of them are obtained through the friend point pool. If you are an advanced player, you might know about the Vanderdecken, who is a friend point pool character. He used to be a Fortnite unit back in the day, of like over a decade ago, but he has an exceptional support ability that attaches to Hody Joan characters, so that's going to be a very interesting one to use. Probably one of the best supports for free to play. But yeah, we are just left with Luffy, but we got a ton of rally points from that. I actually didn't even check if Chopper and Jumbe were pullable. Hopefully they were, otherwise I just sold some very valuable characters. But as you can see there, about 18k rally points. That's even more than I expected. Let me just make sure. I'm not sure if they are 7.5k points. Might be a bit more. As we meet Vivi and Ace, who are not pullable. These are the only free-to-play legends in the game. Now, these guys are... I think we should accept them as potential units for our box. They are exceptionally difficult to obtain. They require a massive amount of resources that are incredibly difficult to get as a new player. So I do think it will take us a long time to get the resources to even consider getting them. In which case, I think they are alright to get. They're not pullable from any tickets, any banners. So according to the rules, they should be fine. But let me know. This is probably the most uncertain thing I am for in the game right now is... should we get the VV and the Ace once we get the resources? The thing is, we're going to get a lot of rally points over the next week or so, thanks to the free multis we get at the start of the game. So getting the 100,000 rally points to buy these guys is going to be very easy. So if we do allow ourselves to get these characters, I think we should make it that I can only get them from other exchanges besides the Rayleigh's Bazaar. Otherwise, it's way too quick and way too easy. Even though these characters are really only good with dupes, they are still extremely powerful even without anything. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Should we be allowed to get the VV and the Ace as we let this download finish? But let me know how you guys think about the overall layout. I think it looks pretty good. OPTC challenge. I am Very curious about how we're actually going to get through this. I mean, there are a lot of really good captains that are from treasure map specifically, so that's the reason why I wanted to kind of start treasure map today, is because we could maybe get 1,000 tickets to use and get at least one free-to-play character from the treasure map exchange. That would be a massive asset to start off with. So when it comes to rally points, honestly, the biggest thing that we're going to probably get from this is cola. I mean, that's what I use rally points for on my main account as well. Let me just see if I can find the shops. And there's a bunch of free-to-play characters here as well. So this Rally Bazaar is honestly our biggest asset as a new player on this series. But let me just see if I can find the ships. They should be somewhere here. Also this, oh, there they are. 7.5k Rally points. So it is doable. Another ship I do want to get is the Sexy Foxy, because it does give you 2x berries, which is the best I can get right now, since the Tesoro ship is locked behind 20,000 treasure map blue tickets, which will take a few months to get. So the Sexy Foxy is definitely the third ship that I will get. But for now, the Rocket Man, who will allow us to get access to zombie teams, and then also the not the Flying Dutchman, the Dreadnought Saber ship, which is Don Krieg's ship. And this ship is the only one that allows us to get access to utility without modification. This ship gives us end of turn damage, which allows us to get around the resilience enemy buff. It also gives you a massive HP. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any attack boost, but once I give it some modification, it will, or not even modification, I just needed to get it to level 12, and then it will also give me a decent attack boost. But this is a great ship for just wave clearing, so going through content extremely quick, and also giving you some HP and getting around resilience. Besides that, I will end up purchasing the Sexy Foxy, but for now we have finished one item on the to-do list, which is to purchase the Rocket Man and the Dreadnought Saber ships. Now we got to do account SNS. Now the episode is already about 17 minutes, so this is mainly just an exposition episode explaining what we're doing, how we're going to do it. Tomorrow we will be doing a lot more actual action, getting into maybe a clash quest, doing some story mode. But as you can see there, in about 2 hours, our first free multi will be unlocked. There's also a bunch of panel missions here, which can give us a lot of useful items, even if we won't be using them for a while. But yeah, I can get these done. I will be selling this Luffy, who is really, really good for a new account. Same for the Vivi. She is the one that I was talking about before that you can get from the Rally's Bazaar. You can also get her from clearing some of these panel missions. So yeah, just tell me in the comments. I really don't know if I should be using these Vivi and Ace, but we'll see. Now, two things I want to do very, very urgently is, of course, first the SNS, but then I also want to join an alliance. So please tell me if you are a beginner and you are in an alliance who isn't competitive. Please allow me to join. I know I'm not going to be the biggest asset, but I really would like to get those rewards from being in an alliance, because you get so much extra stuff from Assault Rumble, from Kizuna, and also from Blitz Battle. So from those things, it's very important to be in an alliance, even if it's not a high tier or in-game alliance. Just anyone should be fine. And then the next thing I want to do is also add my main account here as a invite code entry. One thing I did forget is another rule that I am making, which is that I cannot use friends. I'm not allowed to have any friends on this account because it is easy to cheese and leech off of friend captains to clear difficult content. That is undoubtedly cheating. So I'll only be using my own friend captains, which is the Bandai friend captain, which is just a mirror of what captain I'm using. So nothing like that is going to be allowed. So I will add myself as a friend so I can start the friend missions on here. I will remove my main account as a friend if I do have to add it for the friend mission. But yeah, I think that's a basic rundown. I'm gonna do SNS off camera. Treasure map, I will be back in a moment to see what we can do. Okay, so I just made a Bandai Namco ID account. So this one I'll be using from the web store, we can actually get some free rainbow gems, so I might as well just grab those while I'm at it. But now our account is safe from whatever happens. My device breaks or something, I don't know, I will be able to keep this account. So make sure you do that if you are starting a new account. Now, as for my main account, I'm actually going to go and see if I have a slot open to add this as an invite code. We will see in a moment. But as for the treasure map and OPTC run, I think I'll actually record episode 2 today as well. I will do so in the last hour of treasure map, and then we can also do OPTC run, and then finally we can do our first single pull of the week, which is going to be quite exciting. Okay, so unfortunately I don't have any space on my invite friend feature on my main account, so I'll have to wait a bit later on. Maybe on episode 2 we will have space, and then we can actually start the friend mission, which is quite exciting. Those give a lot of rewards. One of the missions on there is to clear a run of treasure map, so maybe if I do get that done, we can clear one round of treasure map on this new account before treasure map leaves, which is going to be in about, I think, 4 hours. Yeah, 3 hours, so very, very tight here. Pirate Rumble, sure, I haven't talked about Pirate Rumble. It's going to be so interesting because there are a lot of free-to-play units that do have Rumble abilities. So this is going to really test my Rumble abilities. We're going to try and be as resourceful as possible. It's going to be the absolute most difficult thing to beat even the weakest Rumble teams, Rumble defense teams. So getting those Rumble free-to-play characters from the tickets is going to be a very tall task, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna mark off the SNS from the to-do list. Okay, so the next up thing is going to be the PKA tutorial. So I don't really need to show you guys this. Also, why is the to-do list covering Gaimon? This is high production quality content, guys, trust me. Okay, so let me just move this a bit over. Wow. Okay, so the side fruit bliss droids, yeah, I'm gonna collect them. I'm gonna level them up. I'm not gonna sell them. That would be a bit weird, because they do cost quite a bit of tickets to get. Of course, I will not be using them. Basically, any kind of clearing content I'm doing on this account will be recorded anyways, so you guys just gonna have to trust me that I'm not gonna use these guys. But it would be quite stupid to sell them. Although I guess I could. I'm really just gonna have to ask you guys about this one again, as well as the Exchange Legend Ace and VV, as well as the Stroids. Tell me, should I sell the Stroids? It's only one copy of them that I get, so I could just sell them off and then farm them later on when I can use them. I think I'll do that. I don't like having them on the account. I feel like there's a chance that I will use them off camera, even though I definitely won't, but we'll see. I don't want to have any characters in the box that I shouldn't be having. But yeah, PKA, I think I'll still be able to beat level 40 to 59 very easily, even without the free-to-play Stroids, which are boosted characters on every single event, which is another reason why it's going to be so much harder without them. But rules are rules. We're not going to be using them. So I'll meet you again back when I've finished with the tutorial, and then I think we should just end off the episode there. It's already been about 23 minutes. I still have about 30 minutes left of today to play. As I said, I'm going to be doing an hour every day. So I'll probably just farm Golden Pound Usopp. Or I might just leave it to later on because I will be doing a second episode today as well. But yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. I'm actually quite interested. I haven't really tried tapping on this account. My phone is pretty bad, but it definitely can handle regular tapping. But remember, I am playing on my laptop. I'm just screencasting it to my laptop, so there's a bit of delay. So I'm not sure if I should tap on my phone straight or if I should try tapping here with the cursor. We will see. So this Robin is really good. I mean, all these characters are really good. They're like top tier rare recruits. Besides the Chopper and the Usopp, those are pretty bad. Okay, so here we have Luffy's super type. I must say the animations here by the tutorials are really nice. I think they just straight up ripped special animations from the legend characters. Okay. So that's Doflamingo. I think we have Katakuri and then Big Mom, I think. No, Kaido. This guy is so good. If you are playing this, playing a new treasure cruise, no, what, I cannot speak again. If you are playing a new treasure cruise account, I do recommend keeping this Luffy unevolved and get a separate one that you are going to super evolve. They have very different use cases. They do change quite a bit. One can be used for long, for like a wave clear content. The other one is used for more advanced content. He has a great captain ability, the super evolved one. Either way, I will be selling that guy off. And of course, Cola is going to be mainly sourced from Pirate King Adventures. So I will be playing that daily on this account. Hopefully get at least something decent just from the treasure drops. Okay, so up against Katakuri. Let's see how the animations look. But I do notice there is a bit of a delay, so I might have to tap on the phone itself for harder content. Dang, look at that animation, bro. Okay, so up against Katakuri. Now, there are a bit of things I can do with my rainbow gems besides the box space and revives. I can also get the unlockable ships, so that's probably going to be the most impactful thing I can get with my gems. So I'm going to make sure I get the Ho ship. The Bonnie ship is also another one that gives you utility even without modification. She gives you a despair reduction turn, so that's really nice. So I'm probably going to get that ship and the Ho ship. Those two are going to be my main focus right now with the rainbow gems. So I actually do already have, I think, 60 or 75 rainbow gems. So I can get those in the next episode as well. So we're going to use our Robin here. She reduces despair attack down, and she gives you matching orbs through block for your adjacent characters. Very useful character. Frankie removes the defense up. Nami is pretty useless here, but she does give us a conditional attack boost. Or not, I don't think she's level limit broken. In other words, she doesn't have dupes in this quest. Germa is a very odd hybrid, but I mean, it works. The unsuper evolved version. Quite nostalgic. I don't see this artwork too often. But these characters were so good back in the day. The Germa team were absolute peak. I'm pretty sure I rerolled for them on one of my accounts. I used to have a lot of accounts before my main. But the Germa crew seemed so cool because it's like a one team versus all, which is a massive myth in treasure cruise. There is no one team versus all. But I'm going to sell off this Nami and Robin. And then we can move on to Kaido. But honestly, I think you've seen enough. I'm going to be back for the next episode. This has already been quite a long episode. So sorry about the quite like 27-minute length. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Later on's episode will be out. So 2 episodes in one day to start off. We're starting off with a bang, that's for sure. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.